go chip it in, go hit some guys, stir it up, make them put Tanner Janot in the lineup maybe next game.
Yeah, why is he
Something
not the
like
line?
Yeah, they like this Malott, Malott kid, and they like if anyone goes in, it should be Trevor Lewis.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
it's a bonehead move, but
yeah,
that's you can stir it up, and the Janot might have to come in and take care of that. Patrick Vander Kane's an effective player. Let's be honest.
How are the legs gonna be?
I was just thinking, what about he hasn't played a game?
Like, how are the hands?
Is he feeling fresh? Like but his game's not finesse. But if his body feels good, he's been in good shape. He's been working out.
He's got a fresh haircut.
Fresh lineup.
I don't know. I'm expecting big things out of him. I don't know why. I mean, I used to hate playing. I wanted to kill him when I played against him, but I'm expecting him to bang and crash and get on the forecheck and disrupt the Kings breakout. And they need him. I mean, you couldn't have Jeff Skinner in there. So here's the lines. Projected lines, boys, tonight is they put the big they put the two big boys together. Draisaitl, McDavid, Perry, Kane, Hopkins, Hyman, Frederick, Henrik, Brown, Pakolzin, Janmark, Arvidsson.
It's thin. Isn't it thin down the lineup?
I mean, veteran lineup. And then on the back end, we got Nurse, Bouchard, my God, Ullman, Klingberg, Kulak, who I expect Kulak to be better. He just had a kid. You guys would know about this. He missed practice. He had a kid. He flew in, not private. Well, maybe private. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
WestJet.
Yeah, that's what they would have flew me. But I expect Kulak to be better and you to be better. And this Emberson, this young kid, give him more ice time. They played him 10. Fucking throw him out there. Give him 15 to 17. He can't be any worse than Bouchard. Like defensively.
No. Okay.
I might go full creamer.
Wow, full creamer on the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever done a full creamer on the road. On the road team.
Full creamer. I'm really
Larry Flowers in the house.
like it.
Flowers has bet the Kings, so that makes me instantly think to take
Flowers
the Oilers.
in the house.
Take the Oilers.
But if you
Let me see those teeth.
Wow, for me.
Look
Oh, look at those.
fucking
Oh, those are
chompers.
nice.
Can we get the camera on those chomper? Look at
that
those
is a nice
chompers.
set.
Look
Look
at
that
that. Look at that. What a guy.
grill. But I'm just thinking
Not
about
my chompers,
I'm just thinking
Flowers'
about
chompers.
Kano. It's like
I
back
just
at
get
him.
to the news. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing with him, just you tell him just go to the net. Just drive it through the middle of the ice. Just get to the net. Get behind the defenseman. Disrupt the play. Keep it simple. Think about if you took a year off from hockey, man.
Simple.
Whether you were practicing or not. Like, I don't expect him to be like. Is he going to be an X factor tonight? Like, I don't know. To me, no. But
Make some hits.
right.
Stir it up.
He's going to have more of a fingerprint on the game than Jeff Skinner did in game one.
Well,
Now
yes.
Although I did see Skinner, Jeff Skinner, when the game tied up, I did look at the video. He was like jumping up on guys. So maybe he's in the with that. I'm glad Jeff Skinner. And, it's Chris was trying to go back. I'm excited to touch on which is Bob's biggest concern. Mistakes are made at the time.
I can't imagine being like David, realizing that.
Where are our guys? Where is the back end? Please, God. Someone send me a defense. So, listen, whether it's hips,
Unless David and Draisaitl go off like we did every night, without Ekholm, without that decor, and shaky goaltending. Unless Skinner stepped up his game, and David put up 4 points, Draisaitl put up 4 points, they can't win this series. In my opinion, I think the Kings are too deep for them, and they're just going to keep grinding, and I think the Kings are going to get them.
So Richie's got the Kings on DraftKings Sportsbook. Listen, I expect Stuart Skinner to be better. He hadn't played the end of the season. He looked a little rusty in there. We all know he's not going to make the athletic saves post to post and this and that, but just don't let the ones in that you're supposed to. And for me, Darcy Kemper, who I know who you Did you play with him in Scottsdale in Arizona? Yeah. What are we doing with that?
Sorry.
Oh. I lost my train of thought, boys.
You're just
What do you
you're asking if you play with Darcy Kemper in AZ.
I thought Kemper showed his true colors there in the third period. I know it's McDavid, but he, like when you get one on Kemper, the floodgates can open. After the third period, it gave me hope for the Oilers. The first two periods, I thought this was going to be a short series. I think the Oilers, I don't know. I think they might sneak this one out tonight.
Hey, for me, Kemps, I played with him for 3 years. He's probably our best player every year. He kept us alive in Arizona with not a real deep team. He kept us around the playoffs every year because he's a steady. I think he has a really good game tonight.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see what happens. It's all going to play the way it does, but he's got a perfect team in front of him. That's defense first. He usually makes the first save if he sees it. And I think he's going to have a big night. But, I think it's going to be a good game. And
You think he was ready to go into overtime last game?
Fuck no, he was shit. The shit was.
Oh, yeah.
The shit was running down his leg. I could see it. He was in one. Yeah, he did. He
They
did.
pulled nothing off. It's full creamer tonight, Oilers, baby.
let's see. Let's
Like,
I'm not going full cream on the
I don't
Oilers.
know full cream pie, but I would he bet against 97 and Draisaitl, especially playing together? I don't know, boys. Like David, if they win, he's going for at least 1 and 2, 2 and 1.
They play 27 minutes tonight.
At least, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
no,
half,
that's.
close to half the game with power plays. For sure.
I was having to see live the licks that the teams are giving him. They got to give him a lick every time. Just a little hack, throw him off stride. His key to the game is not letting him get in the gallop. And it's hard. You got to throw him off stride.
Isn't it funny too? We were talking about Rich before. Just Phil Deneau played against McDavid, and to his credit, for 45 minutes, played pretty well against him. But the guy still had 4 points. Like he found a way. He contained him fairly well,
He got 4 points.
and he still had 4.
He's the best player in the world. But
This is so hard to bet against him.
He proved
I'm
again
not
with.
betting against them. I said I'm
Yeah.
not betting against them. I'm betting against the rest of the team.
No, but he showed in that period and a half. We talked about the NHL players polls and all the boys voted for him. Like why he's the best player in the world. Like it was to me. I was just like, I know I've seen him do it before, fellas, but I was like, wow, what just happened? Like what did he just do here? Like he just took this game. This game was over.
That had to be like the best individual effort period
Yeah.
you've seen in a while. Like just 20 minutes, right, of play, and at least recent memory of the playoffs.
Game 5 of last year's Stanley Cup Final, when they went into Game 5, when they went back into Florida. After they won Game 4 in Edmonton, he went into Florida Game 5 and fucking put that whole team on his back.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
End to end, and right after a 2-minute power play, he went end to end. I mean, that's Connor McDavid in a nutshell. When he's hungry and he hasn't got that cup yet, boys, this is where we are currently, right now. As Connor McDavid is hungry for a cup, and there's not the LA Kings going to stand in his way right now. Full cream.
To be full cream right now. I think the biggest X factor is not Kane up front. Is the Oilers? They need more from Ryan Hopkins. He's got to be better. He's got to play harder.
Something.
He needs
Bring
to
an identity.
Yeah, especially just to solidify a top 6. You need that guy going. Like that's a guy that had 100 points 2 years ago.
See, I don't expect much out of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I mean, that's just he is what he is. I'm sure he's a coach's dream because he's always in the right position. Great regular season player, had 100 points. But to me, over the years, he's proven that he just can't give his balls a tug this time of year. And you're right. For the Oilers to win, they definitely need him. But in my opinion, I'm not expecting Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to.
So you're going Kings.
I'm puck committed. But I haven't bet it. I took the Oilers in the 6. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. I think I'm going to hit that. I think I might hit that. Hey, I wanted to talk to you boys about, we mentioned Evander Kane. If there's one guy, if I'm in the Oilers dressing room and I'm like, Kaner, go talk to this Philip Deneau and get in his ear right away. Like, this is a guy you would love to have on your team. Like, some of his antics in front of the net there, I don't love, but this is a guy that I think the Oilers got to do something to get him going a bit and get push back to him because he's a big part of their hockey club.
I agree with that. For me, it'd be Quentin Byfield. I think Byfield's going to have himself a series. I would get in his young player's head. I'd get in his head if that was me. He is a stud. This kid's going to be an unbelievable player, and he already is. But
Question really, but wow, is he coming to his own, confident, skates well, shoots the puck, has an active
he's 22. He's only 22.
like walking onto the bus.
Huge. He hasn't filled out yet.
Hasn't filled out yet, has he, Rich? Hey? Still hasn't matured. He's got a scouting notes
there.
there.
I doing push-ups. I saw him earlier.
Yeah.
How about the picture they took after the game too, when Byfield's pinching Fiala's nipples too? Like, first of all, Rich, why are they taking pictures after one win? Is that just for to sell the game, or is that just is excited?
It's a
or
new world.
Is that the new NHL? Is that the new NHL?
Content. They're creating content.
Okay, so we're just selling the game. I'm for that.
I missed it.
Shaking Matty Martin's hand.
They're gonna do a team photo in front of the Ferrari after the game.
You think he showed up with the red bottoms too? You got the Christian Louis Vuittons with the red Ferrari. Is it red on
Probably.
red? For sure, right?
Yeah, the only reason I know what those are is because I had to buy my girl a pair in London. That's the only reason I know even what you're talking about. But
Or a Rolex, too.
I'm sure he did. Yeah, a stolen one. I'm sure.
I never got a certificate.
Never got the papers. Eh? Isn't there supposed to be papers in this that says?
That's weird.
You know.
This is a crayon.
You signed it yourself?
Well, boys, I can't wait to get in there and watch it with you. Let's do our predictions here. We all know what the boy from Fort McMurray's got. The Updog's got the Oilers. Richie's got the Kings. He's already said that. Swishy, who you leaning towards, fella?
Yeah, you got to hit the over. 4-3 Oil.
Fuck, you took my. Yeah, I'm.
4-3 Oil. It's going to be a gutsy one. I mean, they need it, boys. Like they really, if they're going to stay in this series, they really need this game.
I'm going to say 7-6 Oilers in a fucking good old-fashioned shootout. Kemper shits his shorts. Skinner just does enough. McDavid has whatever. I'm going Oilers 7-6. Take the over, boys.
Cheering by myself tonight.
Yeah, but to the Kings, thanks for having us, though. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
setup.
What an organization, eh? We got the Stanley Cup champ here, but boys, I can't wait to get in there and watch it with you. Fella? That was all right. We got Gene, me and Gene?
Yeah, he's coming, yeah.
Genie, baby.
There he is.
Look at the man.
Oh, look at the salad.
There he is.
George. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, it's hard to see with.
Gene, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, bud. You know Brad Richardson?
Nice to meet you.
Hi,
All
Brad.
right, good to see you. You can hop in my seat if you want.
Jump right here.
Put you right beside Uppy.
You take it, baby. We want you with the bread and butter.
Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so go. Hey, just give one minute here. We're in no rush.
Yeah.
Did Kane drive in a Ferrari?
So he didn't, the car did not, I'm not sure what happened, but he didn't.
Can we just
He
talk?
walked.
He won't.
He just walked over.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened with the car, but
Yeah.
I saw him. He walked. I was
Yeah,
right
he
beside
walked.
him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that
I
was.
don't know. Someone said they couldn't get the
Somebody
Ferrari.
told me.
Said they couldn't get the.
So what's going on with these?
Just need to go back and forth when you're talking. We're picking them up.
They said
Oh.
It's not great, so
said they
we're picking
couldn't
it
get
up.
the Ferrari.
We're live though.
So he tried to.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, who else? Only he could
I know.
either try it or pull it
Yeah.
off.
So
Absolutely.
Your mic right there, buddy.
you haven't been on yet with us, right?
No.
You haven't been on.
No.
Yeah, we got to get you on for a full one.
Yeah,
A full,
some other time.
Big
No
fan.
Yeah.
I don't miss many Oilers games.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I enjoy them. Fellas, welcome back to the Missin Curfew Fella Tour pregame show. Updog Jay Swish and the legend. This guy knows how to sell the game here.
And
I'm checking his notes for all those nice sayings he has and puts them together. He does it for 82 plus a year. Yeah.
Get ready.
There it is. Gene Principe. Gene, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here. Yeah.
Did you just put a harmonica on set?
Yeah, well, I had before. This is, obviously anyone who watched game one of the series, I mean, that was,
Voodoo type stuff.
it was incredible. The Korean Senior Community Center harmonica players were like the big story, almost bigger than Dano's last minute goals. So I've got a harmonica. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
They might need me, so I'm prepared. I can't play anything. Can any of you play the harmonica?
Larry Flowers can play the harmonica. Larry Flowers can play the harmonica.
Yeah,
he really
absolutely.
can. He really
Gets
can.
a little Bob Seger.
He
going,
pulled it out one
Tom
night. I'm
Petty,
like,
yeah.
I was like, there's no way you can play that. He's like, and he started snapping it around. I was like, unbelievable. Gene, let's start here, buddy. You guys do a great job with Rogers Sports. You guys are awesome. You've seen McDavid come up through the whole thing. We were talking earlier about what he did in game one, how he just took that game over. Like, does that even surprise you anymore? It surprised me for a guy who watched lots of those games, but for you, what did you think?
You know, I remember meeting McDavid in Sunrise, Florida, the day before the draft, and ironically, we were lined up at the hotel, and there was one, front desk employee there, and I was kind of in a line, and he was in a line, but there wasn't a line. We were just standing separately. so he says, "Who's next?" I'm like, "Well, he's next." He's like, "Oh no, you go." And I'm like, "No, you go. You're going to be first overall." "No, you go." So finally, that I ended up going, and that was my first meeting with him. And I remember when he was at his development camp, we went live all across the country, and we were interviewing at that time former Kings coach and Oilers coach Todd McClellan. It's been a big deal. And that's understating. It's been a huge deal since Connor kind of arrived. And the one thing I'll say about Connor, no, it doesn't surprise me. I think what we don't see, what people don't see is a thirst, a drive, a motivation to be the best. And that's not just the best player, that's being the best player on the best team in hockey. So it was crushing last year. So I wasn't surprised that he, other than drive the bus back, he did everything for the Oilers in game one.
Gene, I want to shift gears here a little bit because I'm a guy that rocks a little bit of a curly mop myself. My concoction is a little gel. It's almond butter and a little 87 unleaded, just pure gasoline. So I wanted to ask you, what's the concoction? Is it better than, because it's better than lethal, man?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. This originally my plan was, and has been for the last few years, I cut my hair the day before opening night.
Yeah.
And I coached my daughter's soccer team back in Edmonton, and I couldn't go that night. So I didn't cut it for opening night, which was October 9th at home against Winnipeg. So then October turned into November, December, January, February, March. Then I decided I'm going to cut it the day after the regular season. Now, the Oilers didn't go home. They finished in San Jose and then stayed. And so I didn't really know where to go cut it. So you can come up with lots of excuses. So I put a ton of product in it. Yeah. It's tough to decide how much is too much and what's too little, but I can tell when it's windy what's not enough.
Yeah, I know.
That's the big difference. Is
big
when
time.
It's windy, you're like, there's not enough product, probably even in Los Angeles, to get this thing to sit right.
And Schmaltzy, unlike you, he survived in Alberta winter.
That's no kidding.
That's some -40 weather on the back of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I love it in the winter, and for so many of your viewers, Alberta is beautiful in the summer. I mean, it does get into the 90s in Fahrenheit, 30s in Celsius. Not overly humid, but beautiful. Long days. Golf till 10 or 11 at night. So I do like to have it short.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get cut after the first round.
Because it's thick, man. Like you were playing in, you couldn't find a ball in there. That's like U.S. Open. Like, you got a nice salad.
Well, I tell you,
to fluff it up though.
Yeah.
You get
the mornings are a bit rough. My wife, God bless her, because she does share a bed with me, but I'm not sure, first thing in the morning anybody wants to see, because it's all over the place. But it's amazing due to shows like this, due to being on TV, due to social media, how much attention something like this can get over what you actually do for a living. So what about your hair? You get people saying, "Hey, I don't mean to be rude, but do you have a mirror?" Or you don't look too bad, but boy, there's a clown missing his nose. And so people send all kind of notes to try and be nice, but they're quite succinct in what they want me to do in that company.
Yeah, they sound jealous to me, Gene. They sound jealous, buddy. They sound jealous.
GEL. Right? Jealous, yeah. I mean, that's why people say, "Why do you grow it?" Because I can. I'm 58 years old.
Yeah.
I got hair. The one thing is, when it gets to be like this, is more and more gray, which is a little bit of a challenge to cover. But maybe it makes me a little more distinguished. So I like it, and usually Sportsnet will eventually say, "Okay."
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, Gene, you're known to come out with some extraordinary outfits or
lines,
profiles or lines. But is there maybe something you've kept in the back of your pocket or back of your sleeve here? Like if say the Oilers got down 2-0 going back home or something. Yeah. Is there something you're going to pull out for the boys that you haven't yet, or is it something like you're like, "Hey, this is for a special time"?
Yeah, for sure. There are things that a lot of people ask me, where do these ideas come from, and sure, some do come from me. They come from my crew. They come from my family. They come from fans. Someone might say, "Hey, how about doing this?" And then someone says, "Well, what about if we add this to it?" And then it's kind of like a hockey team. Yeah. Everybody sort of adds right to it. and that's kind of what happens with my openings. I love doing them.
You're so good at them.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Trust me, I'm getting ready to go on camera going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, you're wearing a
That's
hot
me
top
every day
jacket.
in the studio, but I'm like, what am I doing?
And
then
then
you
you got
plug
Louie
through.
and Jack, who, by the way, they're the best team. You guys are the best team.
Yeah,
but
you
you
guys-
got them in your ear probably going, I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, and then when we do our, we usually do just like a little dry run just to get everyone, cameras, director, everybody kind of on board. We don't do that.
No,
I don't know what those guys.
Yeah.
And then I don't do what I'm going to do, but then when we do it for real, then I do it. But it's a collaboration. It really is a team. You know, people see Louis, Jack, and myself when they're watching Warner Broadcast. And we have a crew of probably 30 people that work with us. So there's a lot of people, as you have with you, crew that you can't do it on your own. And so many team analogies apply to television as they do to what you guys do.
Gene, I want to ask you, like before the Four Nations break, which we all agree was unbelievable for hockey, but the way that McDavid and especially Draisaitl was playing heading into that break, to me it looked like the Oilers were ready to get back to the Stanley Cup final again and try to, win that one game that they couldn't win. And then the injuries down the stretch and the back end's a little banged up. And the Ekholm news, like, I guess where I'm going, Gene, is nobody really knows what to expect. We all know what happened in game one. For a guy who's covered the team, what's their attitude or what's the temperature of the team? Do they believe?
Yeah, I think it's natural to ask that. In fact, it's a very good question because of all those things you listed that have happened at Edmonton in the last, I guess, 6 weeks or so. I mean, it was a run of injuries that I can't say that I've seen a team in this sport and such a high-level team go through all that basically at the same time. Just so many really good, top-notch players, not only on their team but in the entire league. So they do believe. I think when you're getting to where they want to get, you got kind of sometimes you're thinking big picture, then you're thinking small picture. I think before the series started, you're thinking, okay, we got to, this is 25%. You lose game one, now all you're worried about is game two. You guys have all been there. So, and with Connor as a leader and Leon as a leader, I just see this team understands what it takes. They've been there, heartbroken and ready to do it again. But nobody steps aside for you. And if anything, I'm not sure teams could be more prepared for Edmonton these playoffs than last. But I think they are, considering how far they went.
Gene, Shane and I were at Game 7, almost at the tip of the mountain, the place that Connor and Leon, all of Edmonton.
Gene, I had the Panthers. I'm sorry. I had the Panthers. I'm sorry. But
by the way, Fort McMurray, pride of Fort McMurray.
He was crying.
Exactly right. Yeah. I had my orange. I was bleeding orange at the time. Game 1's already happened. We're here for Game 2. Is there foot already in the water of being back in the playoffs? Do you think they were so close to where they wanted to be last year and a goal away? And now there's game 1, they're banged up. Do you see the mentality like we can step on the gas and get this game back to where it needs to be?
I think you're right. And you guys, I always refer to you guys because you've been in those rooms and been in those situations. And for sure, I saw Connor. It was funny. We interviewed him before the game, and I asked him, I think, 4 or 5 questions before game 1, and I think his answers told him maybe $1.15. He was just kind of like, I'll do this. I understand, but like I'm at the rink. I'm like pure business right now, and I'm 100% focused. And Connor's like that, and Leon's like that, and so I think they understand that it's time to step up. And a lot of people would be like, well, it's game 2, and it's never a series until what do they say? The home team loses for the first time. But they, first of all, again, back to the big picture. Do they want to go 7-7? They want to get through as fast as they can. Now, I just want to make this clear for anyone watching from the Kings. It doesn't mean they think they're going to just roll over the Kings. Far from it. They got their hands full. The Kings have, that's a really good hockey team, but they're thinking, let's get through this. Let's beat these guys. Let's be healthy. Let's try and do it in as few games as possible, and then we'll see what's next.
Gene, you're a poet in your own right. The puns you use are unbelievable. One of my favorite ones that because the thing about you is it seems like you're always having fun at least up there, and that's what I think is so colorful to the listeners, the viewers. But I think my favorite pun you've had, and I could maybe say it stacks up with one of your favorites as well, is you were dressed as a hot dog one night back in 2011.
Yeah.
And you I think it was only for a pregame segment, but you carried it throughout the game. And you ended up interviewing assistant coach at the
Yeah.
time, Kelly Buckberg.
It was in Boston.
Bucky,
Yeah.
Bucky.
You came out and you started with, I think this is the first time a hot dog's ever interviewed a burger.
Burger,
So
yeah.
that had to be some of your finest work.
I remember that. It was an afternoon game, and I also remember a local boy, Fernando Pisani, had just come back from a back injury after 13 games, and the Oilers PR guy said, Fernando, come over here and talk to Gene. So Fernando first came back, he's still struggling a bit. He hasn't played a bit. He comes around the corner and looks at me and goes, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Sorry, Fernando." So that is one of my favorites. One of my favorite openings was Todd McClellan when he was a coach in Edmonton, and we did a segment called The Todd Father, and I had a guy playing the trumpet, the opening to The Godfather, and the whole Godfather look. That's one of my favorites. In fact, another tie into the Kings, Dustin Penner. One of my favorite puns. Segments was, remember when Dustin hurt himself getting pancakes?
Yeah, I sure do.
You remember that?
I sure do.
So I hurt himself getting pancakes, and so he came back, and I really enjoyed Dustin. And so we were talking about it on air, and I said, hurt himself, and since he's come back, things haven't gone that well. He's craped the bed. So I appreciate that because you do them, and sometimes you're like, you don't want to be doing it just for you. You're trying to do it for the viewers and the listeners. So, but I have a ton of fun doing it, and it stems from '06 when the Oilers lost to Game 7 to Carolina. They came back, Chris Pronger traded, gone. The team really struggled. And I'm like, geez, can we come home at night at 7 o'clock overtime? They turn on the TV. They don't want to hear about that power play or a 6-game lead. So how are we gonna find positive nuggets and kind of expand on them? So that's kind of how it started. Here we are, not quite 20 years later, still doing it. I'll keep doing it until someone says stop.
Yeah, Gene, thank you so much for taking the time. We know you're busy, and you're definitely a glue guy. We have a little glue guy segment at Missin Curfew. If you were in a dressing room, you'd be a glue guy. You're great for the game. Continue doing it, and me and the Updog, all three of us actually are on the Oil tonight, so hopefully they can get it done. Richardson's taking the Kings because he's got a Stanley Cup ring on, but we got the Oilers, buddy. So thank you. Keep up the great work, my man.
Boys. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank
you.
Take care, guys. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Great to see everybody.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother. That was awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Gene.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. So what's your schedule? You guys are where now?
Hi, guys. Thanks, Steve.
Hold on, we're good. You want to jump on?
Just say we're live right here.
We're live?
We're live. Say, hey, we have
Fellas, here we are. Crypto LA Live. Boys are got the setup, National League setup. We just had Gene Principe. Look at that guy looking sharp. Boys are getting ready for warm-up, buckets off. I'm going to bring this Larry Flowers guy on to see what the hell's been going on in his life. Richie, show him the ring. Rich, show him the ring.
So it looks like
Hey, that's what.
long way to go.
That's the closest I ever got to one right there. Hey, that's the closest I ever got to one.
What's up, Diz?
Hey, sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. Flowers. Let's do a little hit with Flowers.
You want Richie on? What do you want?
Is Schmaltz? Oh no.
I lost my cocktail. Fuck.
I cocked it.
Kyle, it's right there. It's that one that's wounded. So yeah,
It's the one that's dead.
there's not much left in it.
Ow.
Is that it?
I was drinking.
What did I end up doing with Did I have that little?
No, it's flower shot.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm gonna get out there for warm-up.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little 5 minutes with Flowers here. Hey, we still rolling?
Yeah.
Up, dog. Put your headphones on.
Fella.
Okay, there we go. Fellas, the Missin Curfew Fella Tour pregame show rolls on here. Boys are a couple cocktails deep, not enough yet, eh, Rich?
I don't know.
But we got Larry Flowers. Buddy, this is I'm not gonna lie. You get this in Aspen all the time you're spending in Aspen, or what? What is this? This is nice, man.
I'm trying to step my game.
Hold
up
that
just a
close
little-
to those
I'm trying
teeth
to
of
step
yours.
up my game just.
just a little bit. I'm trying to step my game up a little bit. Have a little bit more style than a black T-shirt every night.
Yeah.
But hey, it's good.
What is that? Shot across the bow there, bud? I got the leather jacket and the Sprint Daddy ready for after the game.
You're cheering for the Kings tonight. You got oil colors, but you got orange and blue.
What do you want me to do?
And you sell jewelry to Connor McDavid. I can't believe you're a trader.
I am, but I've sold a lot of jewelry to LA Kings guys as well. Listen, honestly, first of all, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. I think this is going to be a great match. I like the Kings. I know you were saying that. I like the Kings. I think the Kings tonight. I just think they're better up and down. I've been on fire, by the way. I've been on fire with my gambling.
I was till last night. I took it on the chin, as Jay Smith would say.
I think the Kings are better overall. I really do. I think you shut down 2 guys. I just don't know how Edmonton wins the series.
What about Evander Kane come back in the lineup? Does that scare you at all? Evander Kane come back in?
I think that's the right move for them.
It's the only fucking move.
It's the right move for them, but I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think everyone would probably say the Kings are the favorite right now, but while we got you here, I know obviously the pride of Philadelphia. Congrats on the Birds.
Hey, thank you.
I hate that coach, but congrats. You earned it. I told you Jalen Hurts when they brought him in, he was the guy, so you're welcome. I told you that. But let's talk about your Flyers. Obviously fired our boy John Tortorella. Beach Cup had a great year. We were talking about the Eastern Conference, and listen, we all agree hockey's better when the Flyers are in the playoffs. As a diehard guy, what do you think? How many years away? What are your thoughts on your squad?
I mean, I think they're 2-3 years away for sure, but I do like what they're doing. Apparently, they got a great locker room. Michkov's going to be a good player. I've been up and down on Michkov. In the beginning of the season, I thought he was great. He shows a lot of, he can move the puck. He's got great vision. He can snap it for sure. And then I've kind of started to think that maybe he's a little slower than I thought, but he's one of those guys that he looks a little slow when he skates, but he's not as powerful.
Yeah.
He's a great player, and I think their core in the locker room is good. I think they need some pieces. I told you last night, I hope they go after Kaprizov next year.
Yeah, I know. I kind of told you. I agree with you, though. We've talked about that earlier. I don't know if Billy Garrett will let them, but.
But they're a few free agents away from
Where'd you rather play, Minnie or Philly? It's fucking pick your poison.
Philly's good though, man. There's no.
Buddy, listen.
Philly sucks.
Totally.
But winning there is.
I don't know who the core is. You have to tell me who that is.
I can look it up here. Stand by. Stand by.
I'm wondering from the fan who's the core.
The chat says Fly Eagles Fly.
Connect me,
what?
Sanheim.
The chat, Fly Eagles Fly.
Fly Eagles fly. That's right.
So listen. Their core guys would be Michkov, obviously, Owen Tippett, Konechny, Bobby Brinks, back up the Brinks truck. Yeah, no, this is a thin fucking group here.
Like I said, they're 2-3.
Captain of the core player?
No, they're going to be able to make some moves. They're going to have some money to spend. Briere's been a little tough. He's getting a lot of heat right now in Philly.
Yeah. Why?
Just I don't know. People they're not on him. They're not. He hasn't.
Let me ask you this before.
They're just hard on everybody.
We love DB. He's been great. Uppy got him on, and we love Keith Jones. That guy's. I'm trusting Keith Jones and Danny B. But were you happy to see Torts go? Or did you think it was time? Or I thought they were playing pretty hard under him.
I was not. Listen, I love Torts. I've spoken to you guys who've played with them, who told me that they loved him. I feel like a good hard coach that clearly cares. I've always liked those kind of coaches when I was young. I thought they got the most out of me. Maybe it's a different league now.
I would love to see you play for John Tortorella.
I
don't know if you have it in
Yeah. I would love to see that. I would love to see.
My favorite coach in my youth, Jerry Domish, was the biggest prick. Tough coach to play for. He drove me. I'm telling you the truth.
Flowers, get a fucking bike ride in.
He was
Put
really,
the cheesesteak down.
but he got the most out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Torts is that kind of guy. And if I was a pro hockey player, I'd like to play for him.
I feel like we did that for you off the ice. We got the most out of you that you could get out. We brought the most out you could, right, Flowers?
I think the Flyers are going to be on their way. They're about 2-3 years out. We'll see what kind of move they make. But they're fun to watch. They play hard. We'll see.
Now that I've lifted your suspension, you haven't been on Missin Curfew for a few years. Now that you're back, we'll get you back down to the Missin Curfew Lounge. We got to run. We got to wrap. But listen. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say it's Mother's Day around the corner.
Uh-huh.
Are you getting any specials for the listeners out there? Or you got a website?
When's Mother's Day? It's fucking Mother's Day. You have changed, man. Mother's Day around the corner. What's the day here? He doesn't even know. What day is it today? Ups.
That's it.
Did you know that it was Mother's Day? Sorry, Roxy.
I did. Yeah, I always know.
Oh, yeah, you're smart.
No, but Flowers, where are you?
No, it's Mother's Day, and you know what? I was just telling Richie. The funny
watch real.
thing about dealing with the boys is right before any birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, I just get a bum rush 1-2 days before from all the boys who are like, I forgot to get my girl something. Help me, flowers. You gotta help me. And that's where I'm like, okay, now I take care. Now I'm really gonna take advantage.
Yeah.
Rid of those CZs.
Hey, now you got them, right? You're like, this is where I make my money.
Exactly.
The last one for me was, obviously Loops is having a kid, so me and you are last man standing. But in your mind, who gets married first, Lupo or Upshaw?
Wow.
Who gets married first? You think?
Yeah, but I think.
No, I mean, who walks down the aisle first? I'll tell you who I think.
I think it's gonna be Lupo.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
He's
Lupo
under
too.
a lot of.
Just because I don't know if Christina would marry him. Man. I think that's the reason there.
Great. Guys, thanks for having me on again.
No, you're obviously part of the family, buddy. Let's go enjoy this game and let's catch a buzz, please.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, come on, Oil. Woo! Good job, boys.
Not my best.
Fellas, thank you. Updog, Richie, J Swish, Flowers in the house, A-Hall, Cons, Hall Pass Media. Thank you guys. G-Money. Ice Pick, thanks for sticking with us, guys. We're going to watch this game. Take the over.